more time talking about what do you call it, as opposed to what do you do about it, you know? I mean, really, if Fox didn't talk about this, they'd have nothing else to talk about, it would seem to me. You know, radical Islamic extremism, I'm not sure an awful lot is gained by saying that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome in Governor Jim Gilmore, former governor of the state of Virginia and president of Free Congress Foundation. Hello, Governor.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good. Great to talk to you again, sir. Welcome back. When you hear the Attorney General say that it doesn't matter, why Fox News would have nothing to talk about if they didn't talk about calling it Islamic terror, what difference does it make what we call it? Maria Harf, we can't beat them by killing them. We got to offer them, make sure they have businesses and jobs. Are we living in some kind of alternate universe now? I mean, how much trouble are we really in with this administration?
I think we're in a lot of trouble, Steve. I actually issued a statement today that pointed out that this whole business coming out of the State Department about how we have to have a social welfare system for the entire world in order to stop violence is just nonsense. The president has a duty to protect the American people and to provide for their security right now. This is not a case where you do some long-term, lifetime type of event in order to try to help things, although as wise as that might be in years and years from now. Our duty right now is to protect the American people, and this so-called extremism conference that they're doing, I think, is not helpful.
All right, let's talk on the international front for just a few more seconds before we move home. The rise of anti-Semitism around Europe led Benjamin Netanyahu to say, hey, come home, come to Israel. Yesterday, Alan Dershowitz said that this just shows the need. What's going on around the world shows the need for a safe haven for Jews, and that safe haven, of course, is Israel. You spoke about it at the Women's Republican Club here in New York last week. I mean, what's your take on the not only what's going on, but again, this administration, this president specifically going out of his way to say what happened at the kosher market in France was a random act, had nothing to do with Judaism.
That's correct. That also is nonsense and dangerous nonsense, because it's dangerous to the Jews of the world to have to be under direct attack and then to turn a blind eye, because it makes the people in the Jewish community across the United States and across the world insecure. We have to stand tall with our friends, even our citizens here in this country who are Jewish, and make sure that we're standing by these folks completely. And, frankly, I mean, to be as bold as I can be, if the Jewish community in Europe wants to go someplace to be safe, I say they come to the United States of America, because they are safe here in this country. Now, they they believe there's a safe haven in Israel, and that's fine, that's fine. But I believe that our duty here is to make sure that all citizens, whether Jewish, Christian, or anybody else, are safe and secure in the United States, and I believe they are.
All right. Along those lines, immigration. We find out today that counterterrorism officials are worried that the Syrian refugees that Obama's going to allow into this country could be infiltrated very easily by ISIS fighters, Al-Qaeda fighters. We have no way of knowing anything who's coming in. That's a huge problem, is it not?
It is, and before I address that specific issue, let me remind you that I also had a comment last week about the president's comment that well, we can make a moral equivalency between the conduct of ISIS and the Crusades, and I made a statement that offended every Christian everywhere. More than that, I think it's very dangerous, because it gives fire and fuel to the ISIS people who are trying to recruit their recruits by accusing the West of being crusaders. That's why that matters when they come from the president matter, and that's why that statement was so offensive. And what we're seeing right now.
And you know what, Governor, you know what? I just want to alert you to the fact that in the several days before that, when the Jordanian pilot was burnt alive in that video contained rhetoric about the Crusades. Then the president said Crusades, and in the video of the cops that were the Coptic Christians beheaded the other day, they also mentioned the Crusades. So it's like the rhetoric is feeding off each other between ISIS and Obama.
Yes, and that's why the president's comments were so bad and why I reacted so very strongly to it. because the president needs to understand that what he says matters. It matters to our friends, it matters to our allies, and it matters to our adversaries. If they can take the president's words and twist them in order to recruit people, that is irresponsible for the president to give them that kind of ammunition. Now, you know, with respect to these issues of what's going on over there, I mean, I just think we have got to be as strong as we can at this time.
Absolutely. Governor, always great to talk to you, sir. Thank you so very much.
Good, thank you.
Governor Gilmore, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Steve Malzberg Show. When we come back, Hillary, if you think she's likely to win, think again, says our next guest. Don't go away.